There have been accusations of police brutality in New Delhi after police used tear gas and batons to stop thousands of anti-government protesters marching towards Parliament. The clashes left around 60 people injured. Protesters from India's Cockroach Janta party accuse police of using excessive force and carrying out arbitrary detentions. The movement is demanding the resignation of India's education minister over the alleged leak of medical school entrance tests. DW's Adil Bhat reports.
This protester is being detained at the protest site in Jantar Mantar, New Delhi. His wife and 4-year-old daughter cried, pleading for his release. But their calls are ignored. He's one of at least 70 protesters detained in the police crackdown on supporters of India's Cockroach Janta party. This youth-led movement is demanding accountability over an alleged leak of national medical entrance exam papers which impacted millions of students.
I was hit with a baton directly to my head and face. When I fell down, they still didn't stop.
Like him, dozens of injured protesters have returned to the protest site to continue their sit-in. Among the injured is Laukush Trujapati. He was one of thousands who defied a police ban to march towards Parliament. His leg was fractured and ligaments torn.
I'm in immense pain whenever I move my leg. Sometimes I can't stand it, but I'm fighting through the pain as a volunteer for this movement.
Despite his injuries, he says he's not backing down.
I haven't seen anything like this in 25 years of life. I'm happy even if I die today. I won't have regrets. We will bring change, and without it, we won't leave this place.
He wasn't alone. His friend Ankit, who joined the protest, was also injured.
The police wanted to take our lives. Special forces attacked us, beating us badly with batons. We feel half dead. There's nothing left in us now.
What began as a peaceful demonstration escalated fast. The newly formed Cockroach Janta party has channeled years of frustration into one of India's largest youth protest movement and turned Delhi into a battleground. Around 60 people have been injured. One remains on a ventilator in intensive care. Amnesty International accused police of using excessive force. This protester says the crackdown left many students traumatized.
We are completely shocked with the response of the Delhi police. It is unprecedented. Never in the history of this country this kind of violence had happened on the public, especially students.
But Delhi police deny the accusations. They say protesters became violent and injured 118 officers, a claim DW could not independently verify. DW approached Delhi police for comment on the accusations and requested interviews with injured officers. Both requests were declined. Not far from the protest site, students are still being treated for their injuries at a New Delhi hospital.
Inside this hospital, dozens of protesters have been admitted for treatment for injuries they sustained after police used tear gas to disperse the protesters. The injured here say the authorities are using brute force to suppress any kind of dissent. For those recovering, their injuries have become another reason to continue their campaign. They say their voices are being met with brute force rather than dialogue, which they say have strengthened their resolve to keep up the fight.
Images of the injured have angered people across the country, drawing fresh waves of solidarity with protesters. For many students, the crackdown has shattered their trust in the authorities.
I was there, I saw it from my eyes. My parents told me when you are hurt, you go to police, when you're scared, you go to police, but where to go to when you're scared of the police?
At the protest site, the injured continue the protest. They said they will keep fighting until they see accountability over the exam leak and justice for those who became victims of police violence.
DW's Adil Bhat filed that report, and he joins us from Delhi now. Adil, many protesters have been injured in these clashes with police. What's the mood there tonight?
Well, the mood in New Delhi is pretty tense these days. This is the time when protesters from different cities, from different places, they come here in the evening because the daytime in New Delhi is pretty hot. So students, protesters, or like even common people, they come from different states and join the protest at the Jantar Mantar. And to tell you that whenever you go to the Jantar Mantar site, because we can't go there because it's currently, the internet is completely shut down that year. That's why we have decided to come here and to do this interview from here. If you go to that location, you see people gathering in large numbers and they are chanting slogans. They are chanting slogans like "We need freedom," and they're demanding resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. We have been hearing these chants and we have been hearing these slogans for the last couple of days, and the energy is similar. But these protesting sites are always, whenever you go, you see military personnel after every meter. So what government has done in the last couple of days, they have realized that this protest is not going away. They have decided to bring more security personnel on the near the site, and we see deployment of police forces in large numbers. But people are saying they are not going to give up easily. Their demands have to be met. That's what they tell us. That's what they are demanding right now in Delhi.
But apparently protesters and the government had discussions today. What came out of that?
Well, that's true. This was the second round of talks between Cockroach Janta Party spokesperson and Prime Minister Modi's two senior cabinet. They had a discussion in New Delhi today. And after the talks, there was a kind of a partial breakthrough. They accepted two demands from the Cockroach Janta Party. One was that they're ready to give compensation to the students who have died because of exam leaks. And the second thing, they have also agreed that the kind of police cases they have filed in the last couple of days, they said they will withdraw all those cases and they're not going to file new police cases against any protester. So these two demands have been met, but there's a deadlock on the major demand that they have been demanding. That is the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan, who has been who is the education minister. They did not give them any concessions on that. They said they will discuss it, they will come tomorrow and they will update them about this demand. So far, we're getting kind of a sense that government is trying to get more time. They will have deliberations with Prime Minister. Then they will decide whether they will accept this kind of a demand. So far, we don't know what's going to happen in the second round of talks that's going to happen tomorrow.
Now, there has been an activist on hunger strike for 26 days, Sonam Wangchuk. He's ended this hunger strike now. Will that have any effect on the protest movement?
Well, what has happened, this protest, I think, has gone far beyond to any particular leader or Sonam Wangchuk. People don't care about whether we have a leader. The protest, the biggest strength of this protest, it doesn't have an ideology, so it's not tied to a particular ideology. Even if Sonam Wangchuk is not on the protest side, or he has stopped, like he said, like he's not on a hunger strike anymore, it doesn't matter, because now the protest has gone outside Delhi. You see the protests happening in the major cities cities like in Bangalore, in states like Bihar. So protesters are saying that despite no leadership, we will make sure that we will continue these protests in different parts. It doesn't matter whether we have Abhijit Dipke, because the fight is larger. It's not only limited to education now. Some of them are talking about that we are here also because we want to like fight against the greater repression that they have witnessed in India. This is a fight also about inequalities. This is a fight about the institutional decay that has been happening. That's what protesters are telling us on the side. There's a decay, there's a rotten education system. So the fight is also about that. Despite Sonam Wangchuk is not there, but we get a sense that without leadership, this movement can sustain. It's not a movement like which has some kind of ideology to, unlike we have witnessed like citizenship movement or like farmer protests. Those movements have an ideology, but this one is not tied to any particular ideology. That's why it's kind of a movement which is more encouraged by Gen Z people. They want to have like to be on the street and demand this resignation of Education Minister.
DW's Adil Bhat there reporting from Delhi. Thank you, Adil.